students. How are you today? Wow, thank you. So I would like to ask Mr. Tulod to lead a prayer. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So before we start, please pick up some piece of paper under your desk and under your chairs, and so that we can continue our lesson. But before we proceed, please classroom monitor. Okay, Mr. Regine, who are absent for this day? Okay, thank you. Only Mark? Okay, sorry. Our last topic is puppets. The kinds of puppets, what are the functions of puppets, and what are the types of puppets. Once any volunteer, I would like to call Miss Regine to elaborate our last topic. Before we proceed to our discussions, I want you to solve this picture. Whoever solve this picture first will be given extra points after this class. So find a pair and solve it. So you have 15 minutes to do this task. So time starts now. So time's up. Since you're done, who wants to answer? Okay, Miss Tulog and Mr. Tulog and Miss Awe. Please stand up. Wow, very good, Mr. Tulog and Miss Awe. So class, let's give them a round of applause. Before we proceed, I have here some motivations for you to know how God how God is important and how amazing is He. So in Proverbs 16:3, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plan. So it is true. Whatever you do, whatever your plans in your life, whatever your dreams in your life, whatever you want to be, trust thy God, and God will establish everything, and God will provide and support you whatever you want whenever you go, because God is powerful and amazing. Another activity class. So this activity is called poster slogan, and the theme is all about field trip. I want you to find a pair and make a poster slogan, and you will be given 25 minutes to start the task. So your 25 minutes starts now. Okay, Miss Regina, Mr. Turner, are you okay there? Okay, since you have only 30 seconds to remaining. So time is up, guys. I know it's already done, so kindly pass it forward because I will check this later. So very good, guys. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for your kindness also. So since you have already know what is our topic for today, I want you to I want you to test your prior knowledge about filtering. So let's have a short oral quiz, and it depends. The answer it depends on your opinion. So are you ready? Okay. So question number one: what is the significant functions of field trip in our educational system? Okay, Miss Awet, can you answer? Wow, thank you, Miss Awit. So let's give Miss Awit five claps. Okay, one. Okay, thank you, Miss Awit. Please sit down. Please sit down. Okay, the next question. Kindly stand, Miss Regine. So for your question, what procedures must we follow to avoid the failed field trips? Okay, okay, Miss Regine. Wow, thank you, Miss Regine. Sit down, sit down. So, before we proceed, let's give Miss Regine Bravo, clap. Okay, thank you, Miss G. Thank you, class. Thank you, class. Operation class. So, now, let's proceed to our topic. Our topic is all about field trips. Uh, Before we proceed to the discussions, no. So I want Miss Awit to no, I want to know your opinion about field trip. Okay, Miss Awit, please start. Okay, thank you, Miss Awit. Very good, Miss Awit. Please sit down, Miss Awit. Okay, class. So this is our class objectives. So first, determine what is field trip. Next is identify what are the advantages and disadvantages of having a field trip. We explain what is field trip and its advantages and disadvantages. And the C, perform or make a poster slogan. Okay, so let's proceed. What is field trip? Field trip, it is an educational procedure by which the learners obtain first-hand information by observing places, objects, phenomena, and process in their natural setting. So, field trip is not all about happy places. It's not all about the ambience, but it is the matter. You know, so field trip is the purpose of field trip is for educational purposes to gain uh, facts and information to gain more about that particular area, whether it is artifacts, the history of that particular area, that particular uh, lesson that you need to learn specifically, and it's all about observing places and objects. So, there are any kinds of objects that are stated that uh, leads to the information, give them a fact, give a fact to the objects. So, for example, about the works of Mr. Rizal, the works of the works of Apollinario Mabini. So there are museums, like museum or specific places where Jose Rizal and Mabini or Andres Bonifacio or our past heroes that they live. So it supports the information on how those superheroes or those bayanis live in the Philippines and how they bring peace, how they fought against the colonization, how they fought to have to have the independence. And also, field trip is to provide real life situation for first time and information. So it is true. So not only the ambience of the classroom, because they are saying that we yes, we can learn in the four corners of the classroom, but it is important to have a field trip for you to know that it is true. It is a supporting details or supporting fact that your particular topic is exist. It is supporting uh, it is like another way to learn more about your topic. So as a teacher, no. So if you have a plan to make a field trip or to do some field trip, so you need to plan. It takes time to make a plan. It takes time to prepare, and it takes time to well equipped so that your plan and your field trip will be success. Because if you do it in a hurry, So there's a probability that your field trip is going to be failed. And that is not a called successful trip, but it's a fail trip. Okay? So there are some procedures that you need or you must to be followed. So first procedure is preliminary planning by the teachers. So between the among all the teachers, uh, they need to plan what to do, what places, and what time, what specific time, and what they need to do. What are the preparation that they need to do so that the the execution of field trip will be successful and uh, it is to make the field trip better because if they don't uh, provide a meeting among all the teachers, it will conduct unsuccessful task and an unsuccessful field trip. So next is pre-planning with others going on the trip. So you as a teacher, you need to communicate to the other teacher. You need to spoke to the other teacher. I know that you are not alone in the field trip, so you need to make a connection between those other teachers. You need to make a collaboration, kumbaga. No? So because for you to plan, for you to organize, for you to uh, execute the things that need to be followed during before the arrival of before before after before during and after the field trip. So it is important to have a connection between the other groups or the other classrooms or the other sections or the other teachers for you to have a better and organized planning or organized plan. You have to have a plan in your and the third procedure is uh, taking the field trip itself and post field trip. As I answered earlier, so if you have a plan to do a classroom field trip or a field trip, it takes time to plan so that you have a successful field trip. You need to have a connection among all the teachers. You need to have a connection, the organization or in your school. You need to have the connection in the area where you want to have a field trip and or in the area where you have to conduct your field trip and then also the important thing is you have the connection between the teacher and the parents of all the students. And before you can field trip, you need to have the waiver or let's say permit because some parents are um, some parents are disagreeing of having a field trip because it is cost, but and some parents are agreeing about the field trip. So, let's proceed to the advantages and disadvantages of having a field trip. You already know what is the field trip or what are the insights of the field trip. So here are some advantages of having a field trip. The first, field trip enriches the classroom. Next is the boredom will cast away and brings the new ambience and so on. So as what I have said earlier, field trips enriches the classroom. So and the boredom will cast away and brings new ambience and so on. So having a field trip, as far as I can say, no, based on my experience, having a field trip is very nice and very enjoyable. You can gain a lot from friendship, trust, a learnings are I and also the boredom between the classroom, between inside the classroom, and the bad negative vibes will cast away if you have a field trip, and especially or specifically when you are in that particular area, the boredom will cast away, and that brings the new ambience will more more pleasant, more nice and more beautiful, more tremendous things that you can explore if you have if you're having a field trip. Okay, what is that, Miss Awet? Oh, okay. Thank you. It is true that if you have a field trip, it is very enjoyable, and you can gain a lot of friends. Not only the circle in that circle of friends, but to the other sections you can uh, meet another friends and another experience. So if we have advantages, so we have also disadvantages. So the first disadvantage is it is costly or it is like mahal mahal yung maybe the fare of the bus or maybe the fare of the everything is costly from you need to pay the tour guide, but before you pay you need to pay the bus, you need to pay the tour guide, you need to pay the area, you need to pay the area. And also you need to provide some things. Some, for example, uh, some snacks, some map, some and many more. So it is very costly. The next disadvantage is it involves logistics. The third disadvantage is it is extravagant with time. So it is true that it takes a lot of time to do a field trip or having a field trip. Last one is it contains an element of uncertainty. So that is field trip is all about. So since you already know what is field trip, some facts of field trip, some procedures of field trip, of having a field trip, what are the disadvantages and advantages of having a field trip. So may I request Miss Regine to summarize our lesson? Okay, Miss Regine, can you summarize our discussions first? Okay, Miss Regine. Wow, thank you, Miss Regine. Thank you. Guys, class. Let's give Miss Regine a bravo clap. Five bravo clap. It's just like this. One. Okay, come on, guys. One, two, three. Okay, thank you, Miss Regine. Please sit down, guys. So, we've done our discussion. So, let's have a quiz. A short quiz only, or assessment. So, before we can have our quiz, uh, let's get this thing first. Okay? Okay, class. Get one half sheet of paper and let's have a quiz. Okay, come on, class. So number one, I will read it twice only. Okay, number one, in your in your own opinion, does field trip effective to education? Number one, in your opinion, does field trip effective to education? Okay, number two, how planning is important. Number two, how planning is important. Number three. Number three and the last question for our quiz. Why do we need to study about field trip? Number three, listen carefully, guys. Listen carefully. Why do we need to study about field trips? Okay, you have 5 minutes to answer the quiz. Okay, class, it's time Pass it forward. Okay, Miss Regine, kindly collect the papers, the 192 papers, and pass here. Okay. Okay, class, for your assignment. Okay, Miss Turtle, what's your question? Yes, Mr. Turtle, yes, Mr. Turtle. So for your assignment, I want you to make a collage about the field trip. Put it into a short bond paper. You can research, you can cut some pictures in the magazine, or since we are already using a technology and we are already high tech, we have a modern way to make a collage. So use the internet, use the other mechanism to make a collage. So put it in the short bond paper and cite and specific explanation at the back of the bond paper. So I think that's all for this day, class. Goodbye and thank you. What, Mr. Talon? Okay. It's okay, Mr. Talon. Goodbye. Goodbye, class.